Dude, okay. Yo, my sincerest apologies for not uploading last week. Your boy turned 19. Yeah, so I kind of pretty much just like used the entire weekend to just slack off. I mean, just like to relax. And it was also like the middle of exams. So if you guys already seen the past videos on the game, you guys should probably already know about how it's divided into three groups, which is the left wing, the right wing, and the mid lane. And I did say that these three zones play a very important role into the battle phase. And the reason for that is because each lane has a different attack range. So if I show you on my monitor right here you can see the mirrored battlefield. Here's, like I mentioned, here's the left wing, the right wing, and the mid lane. Now I did mention that each lane has a different attack range. The right wing can pretty much attack creatures in front of it, and the middle and the mid lane creatures. The left wing, vice versa, can attack creatures on the opposite right wing, as well as the middle, and the mid vanguard creature can attack all of the creatures on the field. Should be pretty easy to follow. So with the field all divided like that, it's pretty much like the tactical aspect from it. I intended this game to have like a very like militaristic feel. Creature placement is very important. You gotta play your cards right. You gotta place them down correctly in order to beat the opponent out. So now let's get into the steps of the battle phase. So there are a total of 4 steps in the battle phase, which is the commence step, the battle step, the damage step, and the end step. It should be very simple. The commence step is pretty much the action of choosing your creature and targeting the opponent creature for battle. The battle step is the action of battle, where you actually compare the 2 power levels of the creature. Each creature has, of course, has a power level, so you just look at it, you see which one's bigger, and whoever has the bigger power level, of course, destroys the other creature. The damage step occurs when a creature attacks a king, so the only way you can deal damage to your opponent or to the king is by attacking it directly. That means if you attack any other creature outside the king slot, they don't do damage. It won't deal damage. Unless it's piercing damage, which I'll get into later. But yeah, generally, they don't do damage. The only way to inflict battle damage is by opening up the lane and attacking the king directly. Once the battle is finished, you'll get to the end step, which is pretty much the action of ending the battle. So it just means that the battle has ended and you can attack with other creatures. So every frontline creature will go through these 4 steps. Once you finish your attacks, then you can move on to your second main phase and potentially end your turn and give it to your opponent. Moving on, there are 3 different types of damage in this game, which is combat damage, burn damage, and piercing damage. Combat damage is pretty much damage that occurs in the damage step, or like when your creature attacks the king, that's considered as combat damage. Burn damage is damage inflicted through a creature's ability or a magic cast. You'd activate the ability of a creature, or it'll be in a card text, it'll say inflict X burn damage to your opponent. The final type of damage is called piercing damage. Piercing damage is pretty self-explanatory. It's the act of piercing and you inflict damage to it. So what that means is that, so if a creature says inflict piercing damage, a creature you control attacks and destroys an opposing creature and has piercing damage in its ability, that means it'll inflict damage to your king. To give like a visual representation, here you can see piercing damage on the little document I created. So when a creature attacks and destroys a creature, an opposing creature, the damage will then transfer to the king. So this is a level 3 creature. It'll inflict 3 damage. So yeah, I did forget to mention it, but the damage you inflict is equal to the level of the attacking creature, which is very easy to remember. Level 1 creatures inflict 1 damage, level 2 creatures 2 damage, level 3 creatures 3 damage, level 0, 0, you know, easy. So I guess that's pretty much it for the types of damage. There's one more thing I gotta mention, which is the definite rule of the game. The definite rule in this game when battling is that in order to get through backline creatures or through your king, you have to destroy frontline creatures. My bad. And you can definitely see it through these vanguards. These are what these vanguard creatures are. I mentioned before that these are the direct defenders. So in order to get through the king, these vanguard creatures have to be destroyed. So, for example, you can have a creature here, and if there's no creature here, you can still attack the king. If there's no creature in this side of the left wing, but there is a creature here, you still need to destroy it in order to get through these two backline creatures. The same applies to all. If there's no vanguard creature here, both wings and your mid lane creature can attack right through. That is also another tactical aspect of the game. Just as you gotta be mindful of where you place your creatures, you also gotta be mindful of what creatures you're attacking or when you're attacking the king directly. That should pretty much be it of the battle phase. The battle phase will be the most charming part of the entire game aside from the king because of its whole tactical feel to it. I wanted the game to be very militaristic, very tactical, albeit simple. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be it for this week's video. I'll be sure to upload again this week and actually upload this time. Last week was just like a day off. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.